worked on this piece for 4 years. I started in 2015 when one of the men tweeted me asking if I would consider making their story. I get tweets a lot about that. Everyone thinks their life is fascinating. But I was familiar with this case from being a teenager on the West Coast at the time that this was happening on the East Coast. And so really delved into it with a great sense of responsibility once I accepted the project and they accepted me. And the research was very muscular. We looked at all the court transcripts. We looked at a lot of files that were slipped to us by that we weren't supposed to have by people off the record. We talked to everyone we could who lived in the city at that time. We looked at all the press coverage, all the court transcripts. But the main thing was talking to the men over a course of 4 years. Many conversations, many meetings, many all-day sessions on the couch, just asking them questions about their life, getting the nuances of their stories. So it was a big research project and a big writing project, but I'm really proud of it.
Well, let me just say, I could hold forth for about 40 minutes talking about Ava DuVernay and the genius of Ava DuVernay. But I would tell you, I think she did this with most actors, definitely the lawyers that I know of, but she gave us such a file of research. I mean, videotapes of our characters and news articles. So a lot of that work, which is like dramaturg's work usually, was handed to us. And then, you know, for me, the research was, my character was Bobby Burns, and I represented Yusef Salaam, was to get as much information as I could. Bobby Burns is no longer alive, so my point of contact was Yusef himself, and he was very generous with giving me just info on his life. His mother was very much involved, of course, and in their relationship at the time.
Did you learn anything new about their story?
Well, for me, I didn't know that they held these kids for so long and interrogated them without any adult supervision in the room. No lawyers, no family members. Like, you know, all we had to go on was what the media were telling us at the time, and you know, they pled guilty. They did this. They're animals, and you know, I knew what wilding was in New York City. These scars on my face are a result of being wilded on. So that's what we had to go on. So then I read the narrative and I get the scripts, and I'm actually seeing what really happened. It was horrendous.
I never actually knew that Corey was not in the park when the incident occurred. And that to me was very surprising, that I was just finding this out 30 years later, that this kid wasn't even present. And only because I read the court transcripts and everything, and like 800 something pages of transcripts, and I thought, oh my God, he wasn't even there at the time of the.
And you know, I would say I had knowledge of the case, but being able to actually meet the real men who this affected, and you know, I had an opportunity. I played Dolores Wise, who's Corey Wise's mother, and I had an opportunity to speak with her on the phone, which really helped a lot. You know, so you try to uncover as much video as you can, as much documentation as you can, and then if you're lucky, you get to have a conversation and or interaction with some of the real people who were affected by all of it.